Alright guys, we're dealing with a hair situation here, but I literally hate when my hair isn't like how I want it. Oh god, it's getting worse. Okay, we're gonna try, what are we gonna try to do? Should we just go with the ever popular just pony? Hello you guys, and welcome to a new decade and a new year. Who isn't pumped about this? I know I am. I also know that I just recently realized that we're entering a new decade, and it's not only a new year, but a new decade. So, I'm just feeling super motivated, super inspired. I know I failed on literally pretty much all of the goals I set for myself last year, so time to start over. We're starting fresh. I'm really excited about it. Today's video is going to be my 20 in 2020. I debated whether or not I wanted to do this project or if I wanted to do a rolling style project. But you know what, the last 2 years I've done like the 18 in 2018 and the 19 in 2019. So we're gonna try 20 in 2020 and see how this goes. And I think maybe in the next coming years, I'll do more of like a rolling style, but I wanted to give it one last hoorah, one last year of effort for a full year project pan dedicated to 20 specific products. So if you guys are excited to see what products I selected to focus on throughout 2020, then stay tuned. But first, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would love if you would consider doing so before you go. I do post videos 5 days a week when I have my shit together. So mostly I never do, but I still I still pretty consistently post 5 days a week. I feel like I'm really good at convincing you guys to subscribe to my channel. I know most of you that weren't subscribed have already hit the subscribe button based on what I've just told you. Anyway, you guys, I am really excited to share the 20 products that I've selected to work on this year with you guys, so let's just jump into it. So starting with one of my favorite types of products to pan, I just feel like I have good luck with this category. I have 3 foundations that I'm going to be focused on this year, and these are 3 foundations that are some of the oldest in my collection, and also 3 that I like and know that like I won't hate every second of using, but also 3 foundations that I know I will not be repurchasing when I finish them. So last year I feel like I chose a lot of products that I really liked and would replace once finishing. And I realized kind of halfway throughout the year, like that's not really the point or the route that I want to go with my project panning. With project panning, I would really like to focus on products that I like, but I'm not going to repurchase. So I can actually move products out of my collection rather than just finish up products that I'm going to end up replacing anyway. Now, that's not to say I want to let the products that I love and would replace just sit there, but I also want to make sure I'm moving older products out of my collection and moving products out of my collection that I know I won't be repurchasing, so that I can make room for new products that I want to test or just things like that. So right here I have the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation, and I have about 3/4 of this left. This is a really nice foundation, very easy to use. I can wear this one to work without feeling like I'm full glam, caked up, and I do enjoy this foundation. It's just not an absolute favorite. I feel like the wear time on it isn't as much as I would like, especially considering like wearing it to work. I typically work about 10-hour days, and by the end of the day, like this is definitely fading off my face. One thing I will say though is this fades off gracefully, whereas some foundations it's like, girlfriend, like you should probably just grab a makeup wipe and wipe your entire face off. But I would like to move this out of my collection. I believe I purchased this at the end of 2018, so this is about a year old right now, and I'm sure it has a 12-month shelf life. Oh, this actually says expires 19. I'm sure this is probably expired, but I don't care as long as it still smells like it's not gone funky. So hoping to finish this off by the end of the year. I feel like I'm pretty good at panning or finishing up foundation, so I don't feel like this is going to be a problem. This one makes me really sad. If this wasn't discontinued, I would repurchase this when I finish this, but unfortunately the Covergirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation has been discontinued. This is my 4th jar of this, I believe. I have mine in the shade 710, and I have almost a full bottle left of this, and even though there's that part of me that like wants to preserve every last drop I can of this, this is about a year and a half old, so it's gonna go bad anyway. anyway, and I may as well get some love and use out of the last bottle I will be able to. I just think this is such a beautiful foundation. I'm so upset that they decided to discontinue it, but because it's discontinued, I may as well just use this up and get it out of my collection. And then the third foundation I'm going to be focused on is the Dior Backstage Face and Body. I have mine in the shade 1CR, which is kind of an awkward shade match for me, but I can make it work. I like this foundation, I just don't love it. Again, the wear time on this is questionable. I definitely get more use out of this in the summertime. I'll usually wear this to the beach, or if I'm going out for like day drinking with my pals. I do like a good day drink on the patio. Patio drinking is like my jam. I freaking love it. A nice sex on the beach, pina colada, what else? Fireball shots. I mean, I'm all about it as long as it's sunny and on a patio. Anyway, this, I have quite a bit still left of this. I have almost the full bottle, I'd say. However, this one I feel like it takes, like, you use more of this than you do with a regular foundation, and it's a squeezy tube, so I feel like naturally you just accidentally use more anyway. I plan to take this on vacation with me and traveling with me this year when we go warm places, which fingers crossed, we will at least plan 2 to 3 vacations this year. I already know I'm going to Vegas in February to celebrate the Super Bowl. Hopefully the Vikings are in the Super Bowl. I know that's a pipe dream, but a girl can wish, can't she? Anyway, this is going to be the third foundation I'm focused on during this project. My camera battery is going to die on me any minute. I'm getting annoyed. I've charged my camera batteries like 3 times already today. I'm trying to get some filming done, so hopefully I can, you know, try and actually post 5 videos a week. If you guys can't tell, I'm a little like anxious about how I haven't been like on my normal posting schedule, so apologies for that. Anyway, I have selected 3 primers as well to work on. First is this Ofra Rays of Light primer. I don't like this primer at all, but I can make it work. It's not something that, like, by the end of this I'll probably be like, oh my god, I literally hate this, and right now I'm like, I just really dislike this. But I feel like it still like can help give a little bit of something to like give a little tack to your makeup, but it's supposed to be something that like warms up or bronzes your skin, and as you can tell, it really doesn't do that. So kind of a bummer of a product, but it does leave a little bit of a tack and a little bit of grip to the skin, so I feel like it helps just slightly with like gripping onto your makeup. So I feel like I can make this work. I don't want to declutter this because it isn't a horrible product, but I'm excited to get this out of my collection. This is going to be a tough one. This is the Kaja Dream Puff Radiant Mousse Primer. I don't know what I was thinking when I purchased this. I wanted to try one of the primers in the aerosol cans, and at this point in time when I purchased this, the Origins one was very hard to get your hands on. I have since got my hands on that, and it's a far better primer than this. So with this one, it like explodes even just with like the tiniest pump, and then it just like almost pats away into nothing. It's like air, and then you rub it in, and it's literally like this actually does bronze up your skin. It's like a golden, almost like a, you probably can't tell too well, but almost like a body shimmer. So I actually intend to use this more in the summertime and try and use it as like an all over body glow. I think it's going to work really well for that, but outside of that, I don't think I'd get a ton of use out of this. I don't like this as a primer on my face, so this was kind of a waste of money for me to purchase, but I don't want to declutter this. I want to find a way to make this work, and I actually think it's really pretty like on the skin, so I think it'll really be a beautiful like all over body glow. So that is the way I intend to use this. And then this has been in my collection for at least a year and a half. This is a little deluxe size of the MAC Strobe Cream. I am about here on this, so still quite a bit of product left in this. This is just not a product that I reach for often, and it's getting older in my collection, so I would just like to use this and get it out of my collection. It's not something that I would repurchase. I would rather just repurchase like an actual illuminating primer. So when I finish this, it won't be something that rejoins my collection. Okay, I've got a new battery, so hopefully that will help. I'm gonna scoot a little bit closer. Okay, I also selected 2 concealers to work on. I finished at least 2 concealers in 2019, so I should have no problem finishing these 2, and I wanted to select concealers that I want out of my collection to give me that extra boost of motivation to finish them up. So I've selected the Smashbox Studio Skin Flawless 24-Hour Concealer, and I'm about halfway done with this. I will mark this, but you can see, like, you can see inside, see the walls of this. This isn't the best shade match for me, and honestly, it's just not like a favorite concealer of mine. I don't think it's bad. It's just not my ideal concealer. I do really like the doe foot on this. I don't know what it is about this concealer that I don't love. It's just, it's almost too liquidy where it just like creases. It's supposed to be self-setting. I don't feel like it gives me the coverage that I'm looking for, and honestly it's just not the best shade match for me, but it wasn't a formula that like wowed me enough to want to go try and find a better shade for me, so I just want to move this out of my collection. I should have no problem finishing this. And then the Josie Maran Vibrancy Concealer. I feel like I might struggle with this one. I feel like I still have quite a bit of this one left. It's really hard to tell, especially with the design on the outside, where I am with this, but I would say I probably have at least 3/4 of this left to use. Again, this one just pulls a little bit more yellow than I would prefer, and this is a very hydrating concealer, so it tends to crease even when it's set, and it's just a more finicky concealer to work with. Bummer. I should have known not to purchase this because the Josie Maran Vibrancy Foundation was such a disaster on my skin. And I'm not saying that this necessarily is a disaster. There's been times where I've really enjoyed this, but again, there's just been times where it's been so creasy just because it is so hydrating. I would say it gives like a good medium to full coverage, but you just have to watch the creasing. So this is something that I wouldn't repurchase when I finish it. Again, pretty much none of these products. There's a couple that I will repurchase and I'll touch on those, but these are 2 that I just want to move out of my collection because I don't intend to repurchase them. I have decided to pull in a loose powder this year. I don't think I've ever tried to pan a loose powder. This is my Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder, and I can't remember how I decided to try and mark this. Maybe like this. I'm confused. Okay, so when we're looking at the Too Faced, when this is upright, we are right about here. So I have about half of this gone. And this has a lot of product. This is definitely going to be a challenge, but I have definitely been using powders a lot more just because, again, I work longer hours at work, and even though I have dry skin, I usually like to go in with like a glowier foundation, and then I will set it with this, and I feel like this gives just like a hint of like health. I don't even want to say a glow, but a hint of like health that it doesn't necessarily just, it's not super matte where it takes the life out of your skin. It just makes your skin look super healthy. I do like the finish on this. This is something that I would potentially consider repurchasing. I just really enjoy the Hourglass Ambient Light loose powder, and I prefer that over this. So if I'm trying to decide between the 2, I would probably just continue to repurchase the Hourglass one after I finish this. And I always want to keep room in my collection where I'm not feeling overwhelmed by the amount of inventory that I have, but keep some room to be testing out other products as well. So the jury's out on whether or not I would repurchase this. I think it's a good product. This is something that I would recommend. I think even if you have oily skin, you would really enjoy this. Dry skin, oily skin, I feel like both sides of the spectrum would like this powder. So it's not going to be hard for me to use. It's not going to be like an annoying product to try and use. There's just a lot of this left. And again, I do like to use my Hourglass powder as well. So I feel like these 2 are going to be like battling for attention, but this is the one I'm trying to pan. I selected a bronzer as well as a contour product to work on. So first, for my bronzer, I have the Tarte Park Avenue Princess Bronzer, and this is in a deluxe size sample. I really do like this bronzer. I think it is beautiful. However, I prefer the Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer to this if I'm comparing the 2, which I don't know why I'm comparing those 2 other than the fact that I have deluxe size samples of both. So I decided to work on panning this one. I have other glowier bronzers, which this just has like a hint of a sheen to it. It's not like super glowy, but it definitely adds a little bit of vibrancy to the skin. But if I'm comparing this to my Hourglass bronzer, which also adds a glow to the skin, I prefer my Hourglass one to this one. So I thought this would be a good one to try and pan. If I could complete this, I would be blown away, but I definitely want to at least hit pan on this. And the reason being is because I don't think that I would end up purchasing this in the full size. There's just other bronzers that I prefer over this. Still think that this is a good bronzer, but not one I feel like I need to repurchase when I finish. And then I also want to work on my Kevyn Aucoin sculpting powder. I have mine in the shade Light. I have heard this is a really easy product to pan. This is something that I just don't reach for because, first of all, I didn't do a lot of contouring this year. I've gotten more into it as the year has come to a close. But this is getting older in my collection, and I paid a lot of money for this, so I would really like to get some use out of it before it goes bad. I mean, it's a powder product, so it probably will last a decent amount of time, but I would like to try and use this up. Again, I feel like this will be an easy one to hit pan on. It does have some use on it. Again, I'll take pictures of all of these products so that we can compare throughout the year. But what am I trying to say? I feel like I could use this up completely, and I would like to just move this out of my collection. I don't believe I would repurchase this product just because there are cheaper alternatives out there. I really want to try the Balm contour products that like used to be named after the Oscars, and they had to rechange the name. I would love to try those, as well as the Jouer like contour or Jouer blush duos that tend to be more cool toned that people use as contour. I just feel like I don't want to spend $44 on a product where you don't get a lot of product, and I would just like to finish this up. Again, nice product, but there are less expensive alternatives out there that I feel like will work just as well as this will. I debated not even putting myself through the misery of trying to pan a blush because it truly makes me want to shove my head through a drive wall because it's so impossible to pan blush, in my opinion. But you know what? You always got to challenge yourself, right? You always got to give yourself a challenge. So I'm giving myself the challenge of trying to pan the Hourglass Mood Exposure Blush. This is one of my favorite blushes in my collection. It's also a mini, and I also have been working on this diligently throughout 2019. This was in multiple products or projects, and I can tell that some of the dome on this has worn away. Now, this is a blush that I would repurchase when I finish it, only in a mini size though, because blushes take forever to get through. Okay, but even if I don't finish this off, even if I could just see the waffle pan at the bottom, that is all I am truly asking for. This is a blush too that I feel like I can wear year round. I just love this blush. Again, one of my favorite blushes in my collection. So beautiful. Just please, please let me see some pan by the end of the year. If I cannot hit pan on this, I am completely giving up on blush. Completely giving up. So that's that. I have two highlighters that I'm going to work on this year. Both are ones that I absolutely love. So this is one that I would repurchase if I finish it. Actually, both highlighters I probably would. So this is a little mini deluxe size of Becca Rose Quartz. And one of the reasons I selected this is one, because I love it, but two, I also own a larger size pan of this in my Becca Après-Ski Glow face palette. So I have two rose quartz highlights technically. If I finished both of those by some miracle in like 80 years, I would probably ask my nursing home assistant to go out and repurchase this for me because I love this highlighter so much. I think it is beautiful, and I think I should have no problem hitting pan on this. If I could finish this up, oof, I'd be proud of myself. That'd be the first highlighter I would finish up. So that is going to be the ultimate goal, but if I can even just see pan on this, I will be hatapied. I will be happy and satisfied. And then the second one, I'm going for it, you guys. I'm going to go after my Mary Lou Luminizer. This is one of the oldest highlighters in my collection. I really don't have a ton of wear on this. I don't know how well you'll be able to see here. I mean, I see like a little bit of wear in the middle, but I haven't used this much in the last like year and a half since my highlighter collection has really started to grow. And like I said, this is getting old. This is getting old, and it's a very easy highlighter to pair with just about any look. So I would love to hit pan on this. By no means do I intend to finish this up, but I would just love to be able to hit pan, and that is going to be my goal for this one. Okay, so this might be like my biggest regret in this project. We'll see. I am including a face palette in here. This is one of the oldest products in my makeup collection, and it is the Becca Chicathon palette. So my goal on this is to hit pan. Here, my thing always falls out. I'm just gonna hold it like this. Okay, so my goal is to hit pan on Hoola and Dandelion. Dandelion is a blush. I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know why, but I'm feeling drawn to do this. For some reason, I just feel like I need to. Dandelion is a really nice, soft, neutral pink blush though, and one that I can like layer blushes with. The last few days I've layered this with NARS Orgasm, and I've really liked the way that that looks. So, and I can see that there's like a little bit of wear on this. And then Hoola by Benefit, I went through and finished off the little mini I had this past year in 2019. 2018 I had hit pan on the mini, and then I finished it in 2019. So this is a full size, and I don't know if it's technically the same amount of product as a full size, but obviously the pan is bigger than the mini. And my goal on this is just to hit pan. I love the Hoola Benefit bronzer. It is one of my favorite bronzers that I've ever tried, even still to this day. So if I could just hit pan on those two, I would be happy. I mean, if I could hit pan on any of the other two, I would be happy as well. Rockateur used to be one of my favorite blushes, but I'll just take a picture and we'll see what this looks like at the end of the year. We'll see the love that it gets and the love that it shows. Hopefully a lot, but we'll see. Okay, I absolutely suck at panning lip products, so I tried to go easy on myself this year. I only chose two. One should be like a gimme, and that is this little mini Fenty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fussy. So I own the full size of Fussy, and I got this in the holiday like 5 mini set from Fenty Beauty. So I decided that I want to try and pan the mini, because that should be, honestly, I finished the full size of the original Gloss Bomb last year, no problem. So the mini should kind of be a gimme. And sometimes you want to give yourself a couple gimme products, especially in a year-long project pan, to just keep you motivated. Watch, I won't even end up finishing this, but that is one lip product that I'm including, and then I'm going to do it again. I'm going to try and pan a liquid lipstick. It's a Dose of Colors liquid lipstick, which is one of my favorite formulas because they are super comfortable. This is in the shade A Mauve Story, and it was in collaboration with Katie and Desi. It is one of the most neutral, perfect nude lips. It's like a Your Lips but better shade. Very, very wearable. I could wear this to work and feel comfortable, so that's why I'm choosing this one. My goal is ultimately to finish this up. I really did not do well with my other Dose of Color liquid lipstick in my 19 and 2019, so I'm a little bit worried, but you know what, I still want to challenge myself. We're gonna see if I can do it this year. Maybe change my focus a little bit more, maybe just like, you know, hone in that winning spirit and hopefully pan a liquid lipstick. My eyeliners were also a huge fail in my 19 and 2019. So this year I'm going with an easier one, but still an eyeliner. This is from Milk Makeup. It is in the shade Bonus, which is this really beautiful brown. There it is right there. Very easy to use. I really like this formula. I always love to use a dark brown in my waterline most days. And this is all the product that you get in this pencil. If I don't finish this, there's something wrong with me, and I probably should just quit and stop considering myself a panner, because it'd be pathetic if I couldn't finish this up. So we shall see about this. I'm also throwing in another Stila liquid. Yeah, liquid. Magnificent Metal Glitter and Glow. This is in Smoldering Satin. So I had Kitten Karma in one of my projects. I can't even remember which one. This one's really getting dried out. Yikes. I'm gonna have to try and revive this. I might need to pick a different product and declutter this. Well, you know what? I could try and revive it. See, this is what's the problem is I never use products like this and then they dry out and go bad. Shoot, I'm gonna have to pick out a different product. I'm gonna have to declutter this. This is very dried out. So quickly, number 19 is going to be a lip liner. why do I do this to myself? I've never tried to pan a lip liner before, so I thought it would be fun to try and do that. This is a very old lip liner to my collection. It's from the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani line in Ex-Girlfriend. Here is the swatch right there. It is a very neutral, your lips but better, and I have worn this to work. I just draw it all over my lips, toss a balm on, and I'm good to go. So that is why I have hope that maybe I could, I mean, actually you guys, I probably should just give myself a goal of like being halfway done with this, because this is still going to be a stretch, but we're just gonna see. We're gonna see. My goal is to finish this off ultimately, but I'll be very curious to see the progress that I can make on this product. Like I said, I've never tried to pan a lip liner, but I failed horribly at panning eyeliners, which I wear eyeliner way more than lip liner. So we're gonna see about this one, but I'm gonna go quickly select a 20th product to replace this Stila, and I will be right back. All right, you guys, I have selected product number 20. We're going for a Colourpop Supershock shadow. If you had asked me 2 weeks ago if I would ever try and pan a Supershock shadow, my answer would have been hell no. But recently I have been loving the Supershock shadow formula. Now, when I talk about that, I mean more of like the ultra satin, I think, or the ultra glitter. This is an ultra glitter, but not the like more matte or like just actual satin shades that you would like actually blend into your crease. I like the ones that you just pop onto your finger and pop onto your eye. So this is one that was in collaboration with Colourpop and Halo Top. It's in the shade Extra Sprinkles, I believe. Yes. And it is just this beautiful like yellow gold shade that will really go with pretty much everything, and my goal is going to be to completely use this up. I know that these are really easy to actually pan, but I would love to see if I could actually use up a Colourpop single shock Super Shock shadow. I would be so impressed with myself. Like, I would have to probably like treat myself to another Pat McGrath palette if I was able to completely pan this. Yeah. Anyway, you guys, those are going to be the 20 products that I'm going to be focused on throughout the year of 2020. You guys will have to leave me a comment down below and let me know if you are doing the 20 in 2020 or what kind of variation you might be doing for your project pan. Are you doing a project pan? What products have you currently panned? How did last year's pan go for you? Just let's talk about makeup pans in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye.